Yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun. So essentially, ActiveCampaign takes the power of email marketing that most small businesses, medium-sized businesses know, and sort of adds on a lot of power with automation. Not only marketing automation, but also a lot to do with processes and sort of what you do internally for sales teams or support teams or any sort of project management where you're sort of viewing people going through a process or a pipeline. So it really has three core elements to it. It has the email marketing, where you have your list of contacts or a segment of contacts and you send them messages. On top of that, it has the automations where you can send them sequences of messages and then really segment off different workflows based on what they're doing. And then the third component is our deals section or our CRM. So we'll go into each of those three and sort of show the differences and things that you can do with each of those elements. And so that's really where our core focus is email, messaging, and then the sales process as well. So essentially, you have your list of contacts, anyone that's in the system. And with ActiveCampaign, you can dive into each contact. You can really get an understanding of who they are. So let's just look at me really quickly. So here I am, Kelly O'Connell. We've got a lot of details about me. We have a lot of tags, so we can start segmenting what type of person this is. So we can segment on engagement, we can segment on their source, how they came in. And at an aggregate level, you can start doing things with these segments of contacts. You'll also see that there are tasks listed out and different things that you can do with these contacts. So each contact sort of has their own page along with history of engagement. Are they opening your emails? Are you talking to them personally? Any personal correspondence going back and forth? But really how they're interacting with your brand, what sites they're visiting, what emails they're consuming, things like that. And then the platform makes it really easy to go in and segment based on all of those different things. So you can start finding groups of contacts that match certain conditions that you're asking maybe on an intake form, or actions that they're taking with your messaging or your site. So you can see, where have they visited, how many times have they visited, things like that. So all of this segmentation is available throughout the platform. And so you can do a lot of things with it. You can just segment. You can find people that fit a criteria. But you can also set up scoring on these segments. So I can start saying if they have a specific title level, maybe they are closer to being in the people that I want to talk to. So I'm going to score them higher. They're going to be weighted more heavily. Or if they're engaging a lot, different things are happening. So I want to really know that Kelly O'Connell has clicked every single link in every single email. She's really engaged. She's going to have a higher score. I'm probably going to send her in a highly engaged automation, things like that. So this segmentation is available throughout the platform. So then going into sort of the emails, and this is where ActiveCampaign may differ because a lot of platforms are list-based. So you have a list of people and you send a message to that list. We don't require that list aspect. We give you that capability to segment on all of those different criteria. So you don't have to create a list for every single group of people that you want to send to. And we have a lot of different types of campaigns. So we have our standard, which is just that basic broadcast email. I have a group of people, I want to send them a message. But we also have the ability to do date-based messaging. So maybe they have a renewal date or an expire date or a birthday, and I want to send messages based around that date, a week out, on the day of, 1 week post. You can also hook up an RSS feed and send contacts updates. So if you have a blog and you want to send them the latest blog post or the 5 latest blog posts. And then you can split test. You can split test subjects, contents, whole email contents from names. So that really gives you a lot of capabilities to tell how your contact or your content is affecting your contacts. So is this image doing better than another? Or should I do text links rather than buttons. And it'll give you a lot of data around what's working and what's not. So I'll just select a list really quickly. And then the email designer itself is really simple and easy to use. So we have some pre-built templates in the platform already that are coded to best practices and how different people are using design to really get people to engage. But you can also create your own templates. So I'm going to go ahead and use this design that we already have in there. And the whole designer is drag and drop. So it makes it really easy to sort of manipulate how your email looks and what it will do on different devices.
I assume it's all mobile responsive?
It's all mobile responsive, yeah. So not only is it mobile responsive, but we also give you the ability to even hide sections on mobile devices. So maybe I have a pretty long email, and if they're reading it on a desktop, I want them to consume all of it. But on mobile, I really want to get to the meat of the content, get them to that call to action. So I can actually hide different elements on mobile devices if they're opening on the phone. You'll see that I can just start dragging things in. So I want some text here, and I can manipulate that text. I can change the size. I can also include personalization. So if I want to say, hi, Kelly, I can do that. Or if I want to reference any of the information I have about that contact, that will all pull in. So you can really create personalized messaging.
And then, so on custom fields, do you have any limit on custom fields?
You don't, no. So you have no limits on custom fields, no limits on tags. So really you can get as much information as you want into the system and then use it however you'd like, whether it's in a segment or personalization or deciding different workflows in an automation.
Okay.
So you can see that all of this drags around. Can start moving things around and really figure out how you want that to be designed. And then any of these elements can come in. So you can bring in images and buttons. You can bring in video links that will bring up a freeze frame with a play button on front. You can even bring in social links. So this is already pre-selected. Which ones do we want to include? Do we want it to open a link to that actual network, or do we want them to be able to share this message to their personal networks? So that would all be brought in. And then ultimately, you get your summary page, and you can either send it immediately or you can schedule it. So you'll get a little rundown of what exactly we're looking at, what the subject line is, who we're sending it to. And then you have obviously who's opening, who's reading, what links they're clicking. And then you can even have link actions. So if someone clicks a specific link, I want to tag them, or I want to enter them into an automation, or different things like that. And you can also tie it to your Google Analytics. So you give this campaign a name, anyone getting to your site came from this message.
Right.
And you're also able to send tests, anything like that. So the email aspect is pretty similar to a lot of platforms. The drag and drop designer makes it really easy for people to just get in there and get some messages built and make them look really pretty and really nice. And they'll all respond mobily and look great in the inbox.
Right.
Now the real power is taking it to automations. So the blast emails are great, and for newsletters and blog updates and things like that, that works really well. But for anything where you're really needing to send a series of messages, maybe you're nurturing people, or you have an onboarding sequence or something like that, you're going to want to use automations, which is our series of messages and actions. So we do have recipes that some of our consultants have put in, or partners, or heavy users where they have automations that they've built out that really work for them, and you can just go ahead and import those straight into your platform, or you can start from scratch. Now, one of the big things with ActiveCampaign are all of the start triggers that we have available. So it's not just when someone subscribes to your list, they get sort of a series. It can be based on a ton of things. So of course it can be based on when someone comes to your list, but it could also be really segmented toward which form they came in from. Or even if they visit a site on your website based on that site tracking cookie. So if they hit a certain page, maybe they hit our upgrade page or the cancel page, I want different actions to happen. When they get a tag, so when I start saying all of these people are alike, I want to tag them a certain way, that can trigger an automation. If any of their data changes, so if I have a question on a form of, when are you looking to purchase, and that changes to be sooner, maybe that triggers an automation. And then we also have some CRM capabilities. So when they enter the pipeline or when a stage changes in the CRM, I want that to trigger an automation. So we have 21 triggers now, which is a lot of different ways for you to sort of build an automation. But let's just go with subscribes for now. You can see I can say when they subscribe to any list, when they're just brand new to the system, or when they subscribe to a specific one. And then I can even segment here as well. So when they subscribe to it, but only if they meet a certain condition. And that's the same segmentation capabilities we saw earlier in the contacts page.
Right.
So all of those starts sort of lead up to your actions. So we have a lot of actions. Everyone knows most of the messaging actions. You can send emails to your contacts. But we also have site messages. So if you want a message on the website to show up once they enter that automation, you can send SMS, or you could just notify someone. I just want to send an email to someone internally that someone hit this start trigger.
So tell me about this site message. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is a one. So let's say I have an automation that's running, and I want, when they meet a certain criteria, maybe they hit a specific lead score threshold that I want them to, the next time they go to my site, get this offer. Maybe it's a free session or a discount code or something like that. But it's essentially just a little message that shows up on the site, and you can have links in there. You can make it as long or as little as you'd like, and you've probably seen them on different sites.
Is it a pop-up?
Yep, it's this little thing in the corner. Let's go in there to show you what it looks like. So I'll give it a name of site message 1. And that'll bring us into the designer for site messages.
Now, do they have to be on WordPress, or is it just standard HTML or PHP they can just embed?
Yep, this is all powered through the site tracking code that every account has. So it's just a little piece of JavaScript that you put onto your site. Now with WordPress, there's an easy plugin where it does it for you. But for any other platforms, it's just a little piece of code that you throw in the header of each of your pages, and it's good to go. So you'll see there are different styles, and you can include images or different styles there, and then you can just modify what this looks like. Different themes, so you can really dictate how you want it to look and feel on your page, and then the effect you want, if you just want it to be there, if you want it to slide in, fade in, things like that. So this is a pretty new feature, and it will be continued to be built out over time. But it's just another way of messaging with your contacts. Maybe they're not engaging with your emails, but they're on your site a lot. And you have the ability in ActiveCampaign to know that if they're engaging on your site, but not in your emails. So it's another way to really talk to them and communicate with them.
Cool.
So those are sort of all of the messaging types, but where our automation builder really starts doing a lot more is with the different conditions you can do and all of sort of the back end processes and operations. So you have your wait times. You can wait a specific period of time, or you can wait until something happens. Maybe I want to wait until they click a link and then send the next email. Maybe I have a session of courses or videos that I want to send them, but I don't want to send them the next one until they engage with it first. That can be done. The if-else is where it gets really fun. So this is where you can start getting those branches of different things happening. So if they have clicked on that specific link that I want them to click on. And this is where it will branch off into yes and no paths. So you can give totally different messaging depending on what they're doing or what segment they fit into or what they're not doing. And then a new thing that we actually built out is this split. So not saying I want to segment it this way, but I either want to do a 50-50 split, or, and this is sort of for testing whole whole workflows, or I could even do conditional. So maybe I have an event coming up and I only want to give the first 100 people sort of a discount code, or I only want to give a discount code until a certain date, and then I want everyone else to get a different message. Split actions allows you to do that. So you can start saying, once 300 people have gone down path A, then I want them to go down path B. Or until it's a specific date, I want them all to get one message and then get a separate one. So it sort of takes split testing just messages to another level, because you can truly split whole workflows that you're doing.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then you also have dependencies on other automations. So maybe when they enter this automation, I don't want them to be in the one that they were in previously. So I can end other automations. I can throw them into new automations. So there's a lot of different things that you can do just operationally with these. Now, one of the nice things that we've built out recently is this idea of a goal. So this is sort of the ultimate conversion. Maybe I have a free trial, and when someone enters the free trial, I send them a series of messages, but ultimately my goal is that they convert, that they sign up for a paid plan.
Right.
So you can throw this goal at the end of your automation. You can name it purchased paid plan. And essentially it just acts as an ultimate go-to. So they're going to jump to this step as soon as they meet this condition. Now, it could be that they have the tag purchased. So as soon as they get that tag, they're just going to jump immediately to this goal. And so I could have a whole series of messages trying to get them to convert. And then as soon as they do, they just bypass any additional messages. And then you have goal reporting on this. So I know the conversion of this goal. I know how effective it is. I know who's met it and who hasn't. And I can start segmenting on that. So anyone who hasn't met the goal, maybe I want to send them different messages, things like that.
Very cool.
So that's a really nice thing in there, because you can really start thinking about, what am I ultimately trying to get this automation to do, and then how do I report on that? And then some of the even more great things are the things that you can just do to contacts. So maybe when they meet this goal, I want to add a tag or remove a tag or adjust their lead score, or I want to add them or remove them from other lists. So there's a lot of sort of behind the scenes actions that you can even do that aren't just send email, wait, which is really nice.
And so what's the logic behind the coloring of those segments? Is it just they just don't all blend together, or?
Yeah, they sort of go together in like what they're doing. So these are list-based, and these are just what's happening to contacts. And then anything with sort of the CRM, so scoring and
gotcha.
is all green. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So let's take a peek at the CRM before jumping into sort of what you can automate with the CRM. But the way that our pipelines are set up, it's sort of like a Kanban style. So you can select how many.
What style?
Kanban.
Is that kind of like Cinnabon? I understand Cinnabon.
It's similar. No, it's just if you've used like Trello or anything like that with project management, and you have sort of the different stages, it's similar to that. So you can have as many stages in your pipeline as you'd like. So this is sort of a sales pipeline, and they have their initial to contact, and then as they move along to, okay, now we're qualifying, now we've had a demo, now we have the follow-up. So you can see where these deals are sitting within that pipeline. These deals are essentially prospects or leads that you're trying to move through these stages to see what's happening. And you can drag and drop them. You can mark them as won or as lost. And each of these leads have a value associated to them. So here I am again, but within my deal. So I'm worth 10,000. Here's all of the emails back and forth with the contact, and any tasks that I have, if I want to add any tasks to do next week. So maybe I want to shoot Kelly an email, pricing request, next on the 10th, maybe at 8 in the morning. I can throw that task in, and then that task comes up. You can mark them complete. You can throw them into automations. You can move them from stage to stage here. And then all of the personal info is still there as well. So I can tell everything that's happening with Kelly in marketing, in the sales process, and I can even dive down. So is she opening emails? Is she visiting my site? Anything like that. So you sort of have everything happening with Kelly on both the marketing and the sales front in one page.
Right. Very cool.
And then you can have multiple pipelines. So,
right.
As soon as Kelly wins, maybe I move her into the customer success pipeline and she starts moving through that process as well. So that's why it doesn't even necessarily need to be used for a sales process. Now that's most often what it is used for, but we have people that use it for project management, for customer retention, for even viewing how far along they are in a course, different things like that. So they have lots of different pipelines with different stages within those pipelines to sort of signify where that contact is and what they're doing.
So you do have, is it a full-blown project management tool as well?
It can be. So we have people who use it as that, since they have the task management, they have the ability to sort of see what's going on. You can tag other people, other users in the platform. So if I want to make sure that Brian on marketing sees something, I can at him in a comment and just make sure that he sort of sees what's going on. And you can also change who the owners are. So right now I'm the owner, but I could always switch this and then they would see it in their pipeline if they're only filtering by their deals. So maybe someone really owns this first half of the process and then it gets moved on to someone else. So you can change owners, all of this. Now the fun thing is that all of this can be automated or affected by automation as well. So a lot of people do know that as soon as someone fills out our contact us form, I want to throw them into the CRM and then make sure that I have a task to reach out, or I send them a message. So you can sort of bring it all together. So maybe they submit that form of, a download or contact us. But then we have all of these actions in the CRM where I can immediately add them into the CRM. I could update what stage they're in. I can add tasks. I can complete tasks. I can adjust their score, all along with the messaging that's also going on. So there are a lot of times where we talk through a sales process or any process with customers, and they know, okay, well, as soon as I move it into demo, I need to send them this information and different things like that. That can all be automated now. You can move them from stage to stage, and some things can stay manual. So there's a lot of power, again, operationally with what you can do with the automations.
Right. And the SMS, is that built in, or does they have to integrate with a third party and do their own billing on that?
No, so that's built in. And we use Twilio for that. So it's built into the platform. SMS messages will send. Some plans have SMS credits built into them, or you can purchase SMS credits if you want to purchase more at any time.
So does a set amount come with a package?
Yes. So on the enterprise plan, you get $1,000 per month built in. I'd have to look up the other plans, but it should all be on the pricing page. Yeah.
And is it two-way SMS or is it just sending?
It's not. It's just sending. Yeah. So if you're looking for that real two-way SMS where they're replying back and different things are happening, then you'd want to look at an SMS platform. This is just messaging out.
Okay. And do you have API? So if they do pick a different two-way SMS tool, then this could still trigger it?
We do. We have an open API that every plan has. And we also have a lot of integrations available either natively or through Zapier. So depending on what platform you're looking to work with, the API, a native integration, Zapier could all be used.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's all found, in the settings. There's a ton of different things you can find, but you can find that API information. You can also find that site tracking cookie and what sites that you want to use on that. And we also have a nice thing called event tracking, and this requires a little bit more code knowledge, but essentially you can say things like, I don't want to just know what page they visited. I want to know what they did on that page. So you can throw in a piece of code that will basically call an event. Maybe they downloaded something, they logged in, different things like that. And those will be tracked as events, and you can segment on those. You can trigger automations on those. So some people use that as well.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Can we look at your forms just so people can see just there's nice ones and there's ugly ones. Fusionsoft still gets beat up because their forms are still kind of ugly. They've gotten a lot better, but they've historically been pretty ugly.
Yeah, so we have a few different types of forms. So we have just the basic inline where you take the code and you can put it straight on your page. But we also now have, horizontal floating bars that a lot of people like to use for subscribe to our newsletter. We have floating boxes, which some people use as, download this ebook sort of coming into the page, or full modal windows that pop up.
Oh,
now,
nice.
Aren't their own landing pages. So most people will integrate them either directly on their website or with a landing page provider.
Right.
You can do different things. So when someone fills out this form, do I want to tag them? And usually you do. You want to know, how they came in, which form they came in on. Do you want to add them directly to the CRM? Do you want to just email the results to someone, or do you want to subscribe them to a list? And then you can do more than just that.
Right.
Okay, I want to subscribe them to the list.
Cool.
I also want to tag them as download, something like that. And then the form builder itself is really similar to that email designer. So it's all drag and drop. You have all of the fields that you've already created, or you can add a new custom field if you want. But essentially you just drag over what you want on this form.
Mm-hmm.
And you can move it all around, make it look as pretty or as ugly as you'd like it to look. And then you have a lot of stylization options, or you can just put in your own custom CSS if you want to do that as well. And then essentially what those options are. So do you want to show a thank you screen? Do you want to redirect to a different URL? So pretty nice looking forms. And again, with WordPress, there's a built-in plugin. So you build the forms here, WordPress can automatically pull them in.
Oh, nice.
And then all of those form actions and everything like that just is immediately good to go.
So do you have your own landing pages as well?
We don't. No, we don't have our own landing pages, but we do integrate with almost everyone. So
sure.
The nature of the integration might be a little different depending on what platform you're using. But, we work with all of them. So you can bring tags in, you can add them to lists, all sorts of different things. And then again, these can be triggered to, triggers for automation. So a lot of people in other platforms have to have sort of a list for every form if they want to signify the difference for who these people are.
Right.
We can add everyone to one big list, but with our tags, we'll be able to know exactly how they came in, the source of that contact.
Right. Very nice.
And then as far as reporting, so you have a report for every single message that sends out. And then with opens, clicks, bounces, unsubscribes, all of that information. Right. You also have reports for whole automation. So how many people have gone through the automation, have completed it, have interacted with any messages in there. And then we also have our goal reporting. So how many people converted on this goal, who didn't convert on the goal, how long did it take on average for people to convert to that goal. So those reports are really nice. And we also have contact reports. So contact trends of people being added to lists or unsubscribing, new contacts, open read trends, what day of the week or what time of the week is best for sending, and then email client trends. So where are they opening? Do I need to make sure that I'm checking for rendering on the right platforms, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
And then we do have deals reporting. This is going to have a big update coming up soon. But essentially we can see all of our pipelines, how many deals have won or lost. And then we can also do that by deal owners. So how many have they won or lost, and what does that look like out of their total number of deals?
Cool.
Yeah.
Who would you say, who have you built this for? Have you built this for the solopreneur? Have you built it for the SMB space? Who's right, who's wrong for this?
I haven't found many who are wrong for it yet, but
Okay.
I work with lots of customers who are really solopreneurs. They are a one-man team doing all of it in one platform. I would say that it lends more to small to medium-sized businesses where you might have people focused on marketing, people focused on sales, and then bringing that all together in one holistic view.
Right.
But we have, we work with companies and customers of all sizes, but I think it's definitely focused on that small, medium-sized business and really making sure that they have everything in one place that's, focused on how their audience, how their contacts, whether they're customers or leads or just people that they want to stay in touch with, how they're interacting with every part of your brand.
Right. And if I remember right, y'all are growing, right? You moved into a new office, so that's all up and to the right, huh?
Yes, we are growing. So to give you an idea of scale, I started here 16 months ago as employee 25, and we are up to 82, I think.
Wow.
So the teams are growing, which means that the product is just being built at a speed that, I never thought possible. So there's always something new being released. There's always something being worked on. And we've got a lot of great people talking to customers to really understand what they need out of a platform.
Right. Do you offer, is there a free version or is there a free trial? Or
There is. There's a free trial for 2 weeks. So if you just go to activecampaign.com, there's the ability to start a free trial right then and there. And then we have different plan tiers depending on what functionality you need or don't need at that time. And then it scales with number of contacts.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then this dashboard, I imagine these widgets are movable, right? They can rearrange, drag and drop.
You can customize this however you'd like. So when you do sign up for the trial, it sort of already has them in place, but you can move these around. You cannot show them. And then you can change exactly, what do you actually want to be looking at? Do I want to look at my contacts by interaction or by scores that I've set up, different things like that. And then which of my automations are running, which aren't. So it just gives you a nice idea of what's going on. And then this is just recent activity of what's happening. So as people are engaging with your messages or signing up for your list, you'll sort of see that recent activity update.
Do you have integrations with Outlook or Gmail?
So we actually have a wonderful Chrome extension that you can plug into your Chrome, and when you're in Gmail, it will pull in all of the contact details from ActiveCampaign. So you can see if they're in the pipeline, you can see what tags they have, you can update custom fields. You could also go the other way. So if I'm talking to someone in Gmail and they're not yet in ActiveCampaign, I can add them right there from Gmail.
Nice.
Now, the nice thing about the Chrome extension is, this was just released, you can do that across the web now. So as you're on a website and you see an email, you can add that email right then and there to your account, or you can look them up in your ActiveCampaign account and sort of see more information about them.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
What else? I miss anything?
I don't think so. I'm sure, though. I'm sure there's something that I'm missing.
Well, this is cool. Oh, okay. So ActiveCampaign, is it when people start, is it like a totally blank slate and people have to build everything, or does it come like kind of pre-configured? Because my limited experience was that it was basically a clean slate. And so on the one hand, that's nice because you can do whatever you want. But on the other hand, it's like, golly, I got to add contact fields like a phone number. So is it either or how does that work?
So we have some standard fields built in. So we have first name, last name, phone, organization, email. Now the nice thing is as you go to import, so you don't necessarily need to create the fields right then and there, but as you go to import, say you have a CSV of people and you have your header row, you can add those fields right then and there. So based on, let me see if I have a file that I can grab easily.
No, that's fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, you can just add them directly, and so you can say, all right, these match up. Now, when you do go and create a field, say like state, we'll automatically see that state and have a drop down.
Right.
Now what we do have built in is we have those templates, those sort of pre-built templates.
Right.
We do have the automation marketplace, so you can import directly from there. But as far as lists and fields and contacts, those would be built out. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kelly O'Connell, all the way from Chicago. Thanks for making time to enlighten us on the CRM Sushi podcast. This has been great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out at help@activecampaign.com.
All right. We'll put that in the show notes.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.